There are beasts who are men. There are also beasts who are women. We all should be careful. Peter Mwachukwu, husband of late gospel singer Osinachi Mwachukwu, has been sentenced to death by hanging by the Federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Wuse Zone 2. Justice Njideka Nwosu Iheme delivered the judgment on Monday after dismissing Mwachukwu's no-case submission. The court found him guilty of culpable homicide in connection with the death of his wife on April 8, 2022. Osinachi passed away on April 8, 2022 at the age of 42. She came into limelight in 2017 when she collaborated with Prosper Ochimana on the gospel hit song Ekweme. After her death, several colleagues accused her husband of subjecting her to domestic violence, leading to her death.
Hell.
Well, there's been a whole lot of reactions from those who saw it from outside, that the evidences were provided in court, and on the basis of that, judgment has been passed. I was among friends and we were talking yesterday, and I did say that, at the point of death, she had been in hospital, and there were a series of tests, treatments, diagnoses, prescriptions, and all that. We had a whole lot of talk from her pastor at the time, Pastor Paul and Nenche, and many other people. Some of these evidences were coming after she had died. True as they might have seemed, I saw that the uproar in the land at the time even elicited reaction from the presidency too, because the wife of the president was interested, the president in power at the time and all that. So you begin to look at, some of these matters, but legally, of all the charges, yes, on count one, he's been sentenced to death. Some of the other ones are circumstantial evidence, as some people have said it. I'm not a lawyer, but again, these cases are appealable.
He has one chance to appeal, and even though he appeals, I'm not sure he's going to get less than life imprisonment. Look, the situation is disturbing, and there are lessons for those who are willing to learn. If you are a wife beater, don't get to the level that your children begin to watch you beat their mother. Because out of the testifiers, 2 of his children testified against you. For your pikin who you born to come to court and say terrible things about you, God, you have failed as a father. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I have no sympathy for him. Her people already complained. Her fellow artists complained. This woman will go and sing in a place. The husband will direct that the money be sent directly to his account. So sometimes the artist will be like, Osinachi, can we have your account number? And then she will provide account number, and you will see that the name is Peter Mwachukwu. Sister, is this how you do it? So people knew about how this man was oppressing this woman. Church members, that one, drama, jackpot. So how do you get to a level that you treat your wife as a slave? That neighbors, church member, children, everybody, 17 witnesses, guy, who you be? So I think that this is a lesson for parents. Sometimes, I don't know how other people do it though, but God, as I speak here before myself and God, next year will make me 10 years with Uchenna. I make sure that even if we have a misunderstanding, I don't open my mouth in front of the children. Like, it's a law I made even before I got married, and I'm sticking to it. Why can't other people do this? Beating your wife in front of your children? Like, what are you teaching them? When they marry now, they'll say, it's okay to beat. We see mommy and daddy beat. We see mommy and daddy fight. As at the time he was moved to custody, the children were already moved to the twin sister of Osinachi. So they've been living with her twin sister and the mother all this while. So even as he's going to spend life imprisonment or jail or whatever, they're not even missing him. It's terrible. I mean, like, me, I'm not even looking at the battering. I'm looking at your children want you to go away. They don't want to see you. Why? Because you just feel that this woman is a punching bag. If you're tired of her, send her back to her parents. I think this is what we always say. You don't want a woman, you turn her to a punching bag. Return her to her parents.
Oh, I understand. Anyway, it's a serious case. For me, I'm philosophical about stuff like this. There's an avalanche of, domestic violence over time. Before that time, and even after that time, we've had a whole lot happening in the news, in Nigeria and elsewhere. The worst case scenario of late has been Nigerians who are married abroad, where we're told that you come to one little village, take a woman there, and they go there and they see, freedom. And then there has always been altercations leading to quarrels and ultimately death. Situations where even husbands were sent away from home after all they had worked for. These are stuff on ground. The case of Nwachukwu, the lady in question now, is more pathetic because she was spiritual about it, and that was the wrong part. I recall Pastor Enisha saying at one point after her death
That he was not
that
aware.
if he was aware, he would personally return the bride price to her, to his family, and take you away, even though that was not the best thing to do. Were there intercessions, and either the wife did not yield or the husband? But bottom line here is that she said Jesus hated divorce. Now Jesus hates divorce, so
She's 6 feet
she's
below.
6 feet below. We're talking here. The children, obviously, yeah, supposing the man is killed at the end of the day or hanged as prescribed by the court now, they become ultimately orphans. So there are great lessons to learn here. What happens between husbands and wives, not everything can be said, but do you need to batter your wife to that level? We also tell our wives, take it easy. We have some wives, but I know that this woman couldn't have been a woman of that nature. There are beasts who are men, there are also beasts who are women. We all should be careful. God, who created that institution, knows that the tongue and the teeth, as close as they are, they do fight once in a while. But does the teeth have to cut the tongue off? That is the question. It's so pathetic.
And you know why the matter is even making me sad is that this man was not doing well financially. So when Osinachi goes to minister in the place and they pay her as much as 5 million, the whole money goes to him. So they were feeding well, doing well because of Osinachi. A man like that should have protected her because she should have been like his oil well. Now this woman they run things financially, so let me make sure nothing happens to her. That's the approach I thought the man should have had.
Anyway, I think we can say na devil.
Devil, okay.
That is one thing we hear in Nigeria. It cuts both ways though, but we don't take it to the level where you have to fight. As you grow in marriage, as you grow in age, you discover that some of the things we're doing were, induced by youthfulness and lack of wisdom, ignorance at some point. There are things you look at as you age and say, so what? There are things you just ignore. There are things you just keep quiet over, unless they are life-threatening. And I think we are, in our own little wisdom, talking to people out there who are getting married, who are married, who have an inkling of violence. Now, violence is not often physical only. Violence could be emotional. Violence comes in different forms. It is the reaction, which in some cases, like we're talking about now, is death that people get to know. Emotional violence leading to physical violence can be from the husband or from the wife. How do we react? Well, big lesson.